Hey guys, what's up? I'm Nicole, and I want to welcome you to my channel. If you're new here, then you probably missed Monday's video, so find that up here or in the description down below. But I want to jump right on into this, and so this video is about things that we think we know, but are false. So you know how we grow up knowing these things that we're told. You know, our parents tell us things, our teachers tell us things, and then they're actually false. Maybe they don't know they're false, but they actually are false. And so in today's video, I'm going to provide you with 15 things that you thought were true, but are false. Let's get into it. Cracking your knuckles gives you arthritis, or will give you arthritis. I'm pretty sure you've heard this one. I've heard this a lot. I mean, you crack your knuckles and then people tell you, you know you can get arthritis doing that, right? Have you ever had someone tell you that in a library? I've done that. I've been at the library typing away, doing an assignment. I crack my knuckles and somebody leans over my shoulder and tells me, you know you can get arthritis from that, right? Well, that's not true. It's just something people made up. Because, okay, I'm going to read this real quick. It says, according to Dr. Robert Klopper, or whatever his last name is, I'm going to put it right here. He's an orthopedic surgeon at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. And he said that the noise of cracking or popping in our joints is actually nitrogen bubbles bursting in our synovial fluid, or I don't know, I probably pronounced that word wrong, so it's right there too. It doesn't lead to arthritis, so it is 100% false. Another thing you've probably heard from your parents or your teachers is that it takes 7 years for your body to digest gum. And right off the bat, that should sound very, very false, because it is. Okay, while you've probably heard this a dozen times, it only takes a few hours to a few days for it to pass through your system, and that's because the ingredients in gum doesn't allow your body to digest it, period. It just passes through your system. So no, it doesn't hang in your belly for 7 years. More like 7 hours or 7 days, it just depends. Don't eat before you swim. I don't know if you've heard that one, but I've been told that one at least 200 times in my lifetime, maybe more. And so it can become quite believable when people tell you that. But in reality, eating before swimming does not increase your chances of getting cramps. It doesn't. Okay, the biggest risk is actually alcohol, but we're not going to talk about that. Okay, so eating before you swim does not give you cramps, but it does shorten your breath because your stomach is full. So it appears like it's giving you cramps, but in reality, it's just shortening your breath. So yes, you can eat before you swim, but don't. I mean, why would you? But it's not true, so you don't have to worry about cramps. I'm pretty sure you've heard in school that we have 5 senses: touch, sight, feeling, smell, and hearing. And that is 5. That does add up to 5. But it's not true. You see, scientists actually keep insisting that we have 21 senses, all of which also include balance, pain, and temperature. Now these may not seem like senses, but they are actually senses. Don't touch baby birds. You've probably heard that one before. Maybe you've seen a baby bird laying there that's injured and you want to pick it up and your parent is like, no, you can't touch the baby bird. Its mother's not going to accept it back. That's false. Okay, most birds have a very limited sense of smell. So they're not going to reject their young just because they smell like humans. If you're like me, you probably like crime TV shows. Things like Chicago PD. Or Law and Order. Or, what was that show called? I don't know, I can't remember. I'll put it up here. But you probably watch these shows, if not daily, then at least on a week-to-week basis. You probably heard of them, especially Criminal Minds. That was a...
What the hell do you want? Can't you read?
I'm not a salesman. I'm with the FBI.
FBI? You're not serious. You look like a pipe cleaner with eyes. I could snap you like a twig.
A very popular one for some people. And so you've probably, somewhere along the line, gained the notion that you have to wait 24 hours before you report someone missing. And I'm not going to lie, I believed the same thing too for a while. But in reality, there is no requirement by police officers to wait 24 hours to report someone missing. This is false, and it's been propped up by TV shows and rumors so that people think you have to wait 24 hours. Where in reality, you can report someone missing if they've been gone for 10 minutes. You don't have to wait. You just go in and report it. Also, because of movies or stigmas or whatever your parents might have said, you might also believe that you're not supposed to wake up someone who is sleepwalking. It does not hurt them if you wake them up. And you should wake them up, because they're most likely to hurt themselves if you don't. Because sleepwalkers could fall down the stairs or walk into the street. You know, they could do anything if you don't wake them up. It's not going to hurt them. It's not going to cause it's not going to cause problems with their system. It's not going to do any of that. They're going to be confused and disoriented and wondering where they are, but it's not a bad thing. So, you know how we see Vikings with those horns on their head, you know? The helmets have horns, just like in How to Train Your Dragon did. Well, that's not true either. Vikings didn't actually have horns on their helmets. Okay, so how it happened was these helmets were designed by a costume designer for a 19th century Wagner opera. Yes, they were made for an opera, and people just assumed thereafter that Vikings had horns on their helmets, and they've always been portrayed as such. But in reality, they never had horns on their helmets. It was nothing like that. So that's why that is also a fact that is false. Even if you're against it or for it, you've probably seen a bullfight at some point in time, whether on TV or in person. And you've always seen the bullfighter wave the red cape and the bull attacks it, right? So that obviously means they hate the color red. Or maybe someone told you they hate the color red. But that's false, because bulls are colorblind. The color red does not bother them one bit. The reason they charge the cape is because they see the motions the cape makes as a danger, as a threat. It's the motion the cape is making, not the color of the cape. So the fact that bulls are afraid or angry when they see the color red is false. So you have seen the Survivor films. They usually have some kind of SOS symbol in them. When someone gets stranded on the island and they need help, they put down SOS. So that obviously stands for something, right? Well, some people believe that SOS, you know, it has an actual meaning, but in reality it doesn't. There's no meaning to SOS. The reason for this is because it's actually Morse code. It's a Morse code distress symbol. And it's the easiest one to transmit, which is why people use SOS. 3 dots, 3 dashes, and 3 more dots. That's the easiest to transmit. So no, SOS doesn't stand for anything. It doesn't stand for stranded on a ship. It doesn't stand for anything whatsoever. That's false. Believe it or not, there are actually some people in the world that believe that Mount Everest is the tallest mountain. But that's false. And the reason why that's false is because while it might seem like it's the tallest mountain, Hawaii has a mountain, or rather a volcano, that if you measure it from the underwater base, it actually stands 33,000 feet, which is 4,000 feet taller than Mount Everest. So Mount Everest is not the tallest mountain. You've probably seen it in a movie or learned about it in school, and you believe full on that slaves built the pyramids. And I believe that too. But while looking up these facts, I actually found out that slaves did not build the pyramids. In fact, Egyptologists say that construction jobs were actually a great honor granted only to respected laborers, and that the remains are actually entombed near those sites. So slaves were not forced to build the pyramids. This next fact, I'm pretty sure not everyone believes, and that is that alcohol keeps you warm. Right off the bat, you should know that that's false, because it doesn't keep you warm. It only dilates warm blood vessels near the skin, which creates the impression that you're warm. But actually, instead of being warm, all it's doing is dropping your body's core temperature. It's making you colder, but it makes you believe that you're warm. So if you ever get stranded somewhere and all you have is alcohol, it's not keeping you warm. Okay, never believe that alcohol keeps you warm, because that fact is a false fact. If you know how dogs regulate their sweating system, then this fact is not a fact to you. But most people believe that dogs sweat by salivating. Yeah, most people believe that dogs sweat by salivating. But that's not true, because dogs actually regulate their temperature through panting. So when your dog is panting, they're regulating their temperature. And fun fact, they actually sweat through their foot pads. Not through salivating, but through their foot pads. Okay, so the last thing I want to tell you is something that you should have learned in school. It's a fact that you should have learned in school, because I remember learning it in elementary school. And that is that your tongue has different sections. Like different sections for bitter, sour, sweet, all of that stuff. Your tongue has different sections. It's cut up into sections like this section and this section, things like that. I learned that in elementary school, and I believed it to be true. But in reality, it's false. There are no different sections for your tongue. Nothing is cut up into different sections. Your tongue just tastes things differently altogether. There are tons of facts out there that are false, and I'll probably get to them at some point in time, because this is not going to be the only video that I make concerning facts like this. Because on this channel, I want to be able to tell you things that you probably didn't know. And so, I'm going to continue to do this. If you like this, or if any of these facts that are actually myths or untrue, if any of these facts hit you, like maybe you knew one of these facts and you believed it, and now you're confused because it's not true, let me know down in the comments below. Let's talk about it. Or if you know a fact that I should have mentioned in this video but I didn't mention, put it down below. Let's talk about it. So, and while you're down there, hit that like button, click that notification bell, because the next few videos coming out are going to be very beneficial to you. especially in the coming weeks. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I cannot wait to see you guys in my next video coming up Friday.